Greetings, this is Jim Lindsay. This is a quick video. I want to show you something about Visio that we can't do in the classroom just because of the way that the software is installed in the computer labs. And when you read the text, when you read Visio websites talking about ways to work with reports, it's going to talk about a couple of features which we are just not available in our lab, and that's fine. There are things that we can do in the lab to still work with reports and output reports. We just can't output them in one specific way, and so that's what I wanted to show you in this video. So you can see I have Visio open here. I have on this computer Office 365 in Visio 2016, and this is a Windows 10 operating system. And so you can compare this to, your computer is probably very similar. And what I want to do is first just show you the built-in included flowchart type. Report types that come with with a drawing. And so I'm going to go to categories, and I'm going to make a flowchart real fast. And so here's a flowchart. You guys know all about flowcharts. We've spent time learning about these, making these. So this is going to be just a basic flowchart in US units. And real quickly, I'm just going to put one on the page. And so I'm going to take a start shape, put it out here, and then just use my automatic connectors here to create a flowchart that looks like something we might make during class. And then go to my connector tool to connect this process to that process. I'm not going to label the shapes at this point, but I just want you to see, okay, here is a basic flowchart. And as you look at this, as we're going through the chapters about reporting and linking to shape data, it talks about these built-in reports that exist simply because this is a Visio drawing, or this is a Visio flowchart kind of drawing, or a Visio organization chart kind of drawing. What do those built-in reports look like? Well, let me show you. I'm going to go to Review, go to the Shape Reports interface, and you'll see that flowchart and inventory exist in this installation because this is a normal default installation of Visio. In the computer labs, there are certain things they have to account for that are very complex. The people that do our images are awesome. They do a great job, and they have to save space where they can. They have to the version of the Visio that we have, the licensing that goes with it, is incredibly complicated. I'm grateful that we have it at all. But one of the things that got nixed in the process of getting Visio onto our machines is basically this particular aspect of Visio, these built-in reports. And so what do these look like? If you run a built-in report, for example, and this one is here simply because this is a flowchart. So let's say you wanted to see, what does a flowchart report look like? Well, you run it. And it's going to say, how do you want to output this? And you can put out, there's Excel, HTML, XML. We can do these in the classroom. What you cannot do in the classroom is the Visio shape. I think that there's a difference in the bit version, 32-bit versus 64-bit, in the lab. I think that's what's causing the problem. And so based on what I'm seeing from error messages and forums that I've gone to, and unfortunately we can't fix that. And so if you have your own computer, you've installed Visio, you will be able to output reports as a Visio shape without a problem. But in a lab, we can't do this. So let me show you what it looks like if you were able to do this in a lab. We're going to output stuff as Excel in the computer labs and for our assignments. But if you were at home and you wanted to output as a Visio shape, what does that look like? You hit OK, and it runs the SQL, it creates the report, and there's your report. And so for this particular document, it says, hey, there are 3 process shapes, there are 2 start and end shapes, there is 1 decision shape, and as you look at the drawing, go, oh, that makes sense. And so it's telling you the kinds of shapes that are present in this particular drawing. Now, how often would you run this? Probably not real often, but just again, this is a built-in report type that's included in Visio. So let me show you one that we are going to make. So I'm going to I'll just minimize this guy. Let me go to a diagram that will look familiar to you. This is one that we're going to be working with in the classroom and making this report. I've already done it, and it's called Completed HR Process Map E. I will make this available to you. But if we were to run a report, the completed report for this one, it looks like this is the custom report. And I'm going to show you how to walk you through the process to create this. But let's run this and look at this as a Visio shape. And so again, I'm going to run the report, and then I'm going to output it as a Visio shape. And in doing so, it gives me a Visio shape that can then, I can just cut this, create a new page, put it over here. And that's typically how I would have treated this in the past. In the past, this has been a feature that's been present, but with the 32 and 64-bit stuff that we've got going on right now, it's just not there. But this is what's called a Visio shape. Now, actually, if you double-click it, what it is, it's actually an Excel chart, and it's embedded through object linking and embedding. This is an embedded Excel chart in the Visio drawing, and so for some reason we can connect to Excel for linking purposes. We can connect to Excel for outputting as Excel. We just the feature to allow you to embed the Excel chart right there in the drawing is missing. And so I want you to see what it looks like if it if it does work. And again, if you have your own computer and install it, you're going to have this ability. But that's what I wanted to show you. So thank you for your time and attention.